Hey, what's going on, guys? Make another video of some things that I have picked up. Um, I feel like I've accumulated this stuff really quickly, but I'm gonna just make a video. Got some books that I don't know if I'll get to them this summer. I know one of them I'm gonna give to my dad. Um, but there's this bookstore that my wife has been trying to get me to go and support them um, just through the pandemic. It's just a used bookstore. It's like the equivalent of like a thrift store for books, and I collect certain types of books. I keep them in my classroom, mainly historical fiction or just straight up history, nonfiction related books. Um, I got a motion picture, basically like a complimentary to the movie. I think this is the Billy Bob Thornton version of The Alamo. I really like that movie, and I just like that time period, just the years before the Civil War. Um, the W.E.B. Griffin. I think this is the first of a series. I could be wrong, but it's I think of World War II, the lieutenants, Nazis proud of East North Africa. So yeah, there's like it goes in the line of rank, and then each book is a different rank, probably different perspectives of certain guys during World War II. I don't know a lot about it. I know W.E.B. Griffin wrote a lot of similar genres to like Tom Clancy. I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. Um, I don't know a lot about this author. I did do some research and found out that he wrote a series uh, that was based on the Civil War. I was thinking about trying to go to eBay to get the first one so that I can read this one in proper order. But I think he did like a 4 volume series. I think it's from the perspective of the Confederates, um, which I really have been in like of an interest of books written as historical fiction from different different perspectives, as long as it's fairly well researched and relates to the topic of a particular topic. I read this book a year ago, and I really liked it. I like Brian Kilmeade's books. He's been writing. I think he's got at least 3 or 4 out, um, but this one was his first one. He takes like a particular person from history, and then focuses on something that was unique that they had to deal with. And this book was really good. I like this a lot. This was talking about Jefferson trying to put a stop to the North African pirates, the slave trade, and just there's a lot in there that was really interesting. I'm sorry, he's got 4 books because I forgot the George Washington one. I think that was his first one. Yeah, that one, this one, and then he's got one about Andrew Jackson, and then he's got another one about Sam Houston. I think was a more recent one. All right, video games. Um, Picked these up today. I just stopped into Walmart, and then like every time I'm looking for like just a few things that I need, I'll stop in and then I look in the electronics. These are on clearance. This was $9 and this was $10, and this one I'm gonna keep, and this one I'm going to give to my son as a gift. So he's really into Luigi Mansion. He's interesting because like he out of all of the 3 games, he like just is really obsessed with this one. He watched me play this from start to finish on the GameCube, and then he found out that there's a version that he could have on his Nintendo 2DS, and he was real excited about it, and then just kind of left it up in the air and never gave him a guarantee that I would ever give him something like that. So he'll be surprised when he gets this, I'm sure. All right, I got lucky with this. I already have two of the three of these games, but there was a person advertising games that they were just trying to get rid of. I found out it was actually from a yard sale. I haven't really been attempting to go to anything like that just because I just have been busy with having my two kids now, and we're all just kind of being influenced to not go roaming around, going all over the place. But um, when I saw the stack of what they had, they just wanted $5 a game, and so they had a bunch of games left over, and nobody was. I think that the ad was up for like a good 3 or 4 hours beyond like noon. I think I sent him a message at around like 4. I said, if you still have these three games, I'll buy them. So I got Last of Us, Bloodborne, and then Tomb Raider. This is the one I don't have as a physical version. I have the digital version of this on my Xbox One, but I wanted to replay this, but I always wanted to get it from this version because this is like there's more stuff to it, I think. But these two, I ended up just realizing I can send these to a friend. I have a friend that he just recently got a PlayStation 4 back in like December, so like around Christmas, he finally took the plunge to get one, and he never really bothered to get very many games. He's kind of he's always been a great friend, but he's not willing to just spend a lot of money. He's very, very safe with his money is a nice way I can say it. So I always talk about games he should get, but then he never really ever follows through. So I've just been figuring, I'll send him some things and hopefully he'll appreciate it. And it's just more of the idea of like I like hearing my friends play games that I like, and then saying like, wow, I'm like talk about the games that I send him. I've already sent him Uncharted 4, and he really liked that, and I think he'll really enjoy both of these. But I'm going to keep this one. I ended up asking the lady if she would take 12 for all three, so it ended up being just $4 each. So that was awesome. I've been looking at this at GameStop, and it's been like $10-15. So I figured that was worth it to bundle them, ask for the cheaper price, and then just give these to a friend, because you got to experience both of those for your PlayStation 4 collection. Now that it'll have like 5 or 6 games. I stopped at a thrift store, not a place that I've really been going to frequent at all, but this thrift store, I was dropping some things off that we were trying to get rid of. This thrift store was open, had a lot of rules and all that in place, but I hadn't been to this thrift store for like a year, but they had like a really nice area for like books and DVDs, and I found these two. They ended up being some weird price, like 60 some cents a DVD. And they had a lot of like really unique stuff. So I'm so glad like I started going after DVDs like a few years ago, just because it's nice to have these, because it's like it's gonna come to a time where they'll be really, really hard to find and watch some of this stuff. Like I've never seen this all the way through. I've always seen like the ending scene, because it's like it ends in a really anti-war kind of anti-war, war as hell climatic ending like that. But if you're looking for a good movie that's got him as a young Mel Gibson, I can't remember if he made this before Mad Max or after, but I watched that a few nights ago. It was all right. It's a World War I movie. And I ended up getting this just because there's so many Stallone movies that of on here that I don't have that were, would be smart to just pick this up for like 60 some cents. I have been really wanting to watch this. I have a coworker that we talk movies a lot, and we were talking about how it's just crazy how in like the 80s there were so many cop duo movies, and we were talking about this, and I knew of the movie. I never saw it before, but just it's just incredible how many like duo cop movies there are. And Tango and Cash was. I had gotten on talking about this because I had been trying to go after a lot of Bruce Willis movies, but Stallone is also a good one to try to track down a lot of his movies too. I've been trying to find Cobra is one that when I was a kid, man, that movie, Cobra was awesome, but like I feel like it probably didn't age as well in my mind as as I'm older now. It might not be as great as what it was when I was younger. Um, but yeah, I've only seen this over the top maybe like once, and I can remember like his son was like just not a good actor, and it. But anyway, I just know it was an arm wrestling movie. And then I would say the two movies I'd actually watch would be these two: Demolition Man and Tango and Cash. All right. These I took advantage of was a deal of the day for GameStop, and I was incredibly shocked that they came in their cases as they should be, not in like the generic cases. But if you aren't aware, GameStop has been doing a deal of the day since about February, Marchish, February, I would say, and maybe even earlier. But this deal of the day, some of the deal of the days just are very lackluster, but sometimes, every so often, they do have some decent ones. Um, and so the prices for these games, especially for the Switch, have been pretty high for a very long time. But this was the deal of the day was this was 19.99 and this was 24.99. I had a $5 monthly pro membership coupon thing, so that basically made them both $20 each. So um, I liked both of these games. I have them for my PlayStation 4, but I've been double dipping on certain games because I can see myself playing my Switch for a very long time. Just like I play my PSP, I still play my Game Boy Advance sometimes. Um, I could see myself taking my Switch to my job into the future years. So to have games like this are decent investments if I'm going to actually play them a little bit. I know that they consume a lot of hours. I've played like for both of these. I've played them for several hours. We're not talking like 50, 60 hours each, but they're fun to just mess around with and just drop in, drop out when you can. Even if I go to play them years from now. But I know too that they'll hold their value. Like if I paid about $20 each, and I wanted to get rid of these down the road, I will get my money back. So those two. I got Guacamelee. This was sealed. This is also I got this with GameStop too. They had this was actually really well priced from GameStop because everywhere else I see this. I don't remember if Best Buy still carries it, but eBay the prices are a good bit higher than what GameStop had it, and it is brand new surprisingly. For around it was like 20 or 21, brand new, and then like the used price was like 18.99 or something like that. But it was really not easy to find a used copy of this. This is gonna get harder to find, I think. And what I might do down the road is either sell. I have a physical copy of this one. Either sell that one or just give it to my friend, and if he probably would appreciate that game. Um, he likes video games, but like I said, he's not the type that accumulates games like I do. But anyway, I have this same game with both both Guacamelee games for my Switch, and I wanted it for my PlayStation 4 as well. I feel like if I had to cut back on doing double dipping on certain games, I feel like I would just stick with my PlayStation 4. But there are just some games that are nice to have both in case you just want to play years down the road, and I want to play it on my TV with a really great controller, which I think PlayStation 4 is one of the best controllers ever made. Um, or one day, I mean, I was playing Guacamelee in bed just a few nights ago, and I was playing it on my Switch. So it's nice to just be able to have games that are really great. You have them in different options. So I think it's becoming easier to do that if I try to cut back on buying games that are just not great games. So why don't waste your money on games that are not going to be good. My wife got me some things for Father's Day. I think it was during the Target buy two get one deal. She wanted to buy one thing, and she didn't have any other ideas for some things to get. And she's like, "Do you want anything? It can be technically like a Father's Day gift." And so I was like, "Okay, I'll look." And the only things they had available that were a part of their buy two get one sale for Target was Code Vein and Shovel Knight. They both were around I think $30 each. So anyway, so I'll have to get around to playing those this summer. This was a deal of the day a good while ago. This was from GameStop. This was $6.99 or $7.99, something like that. Like less than 8